to NPS Now, your source of news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, our school board chair, Dr. Kurt T. Houston Sr., was honored by Old Dominion University with the Hugo Owens Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Award. Dr. Houston was also the keynote speaker for its 29th annual observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The school board and the Norfolk Council of PTA held a joint meeting to discuss the division and school board's priorities, as well as learn how both can work collaboratively to support the PTAs and share questions and answers about their concerns. The accolades continue for Lake Taylor High School and Coach Hank Sawyer. Sawyer was named the Washington Redskins Coach of the Year. And the Titans were recently awarded the Minutemen Trophy by Max Preps and the Army National Guard. The trophy is given annually to the top 50 high school football teams in the country.
It's a pretty good experience. I graduated from Norview High School, so to see and I played football, so to see a Norfolk school win the state championship was pretty phenomenal to me. The military is looking more for scholars, athletes, and leaders, and the football team, they pretty much represent exactly what we're looking for in regards to that, so to generate some interest amongst that category of people.
The holidays may be over, but to add joy to the season, the National Art Honor Society students at Norview High School, as part of their community service, made ornaments for the Virginia State Tree, which was part of the national celebration in front of the White House. Congratulations. Governor McDonnell has proclaimed this week as Principals Appreciation Week. Take a moment to recognize your child's principal with a special note, a card, or word of encouragement. Thank you, principals, for your hard work and commitment to educating Norfolk's children. After assessing the playground from a curbside view, the United Way, the City of Norfolk, and Parks and Rec Department came together to give a schoolyard makeover to P.B. Young Elementary School with the addition of a new playground. Parents weighed in on the concept, and now students are enjoying a fun, new way to play. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, also known as MEAC Tournament, is coming to Norfolk March 11th through the 16th at the Norfolk Scope. As part of the fun, MEAC is sponsoring a reading contest using Achieve 3000 called Read with MEAC for all Norfolk third graders. The contest runs January 22nd to February 22nd. The school with the most logged in minutes will receive a top prize of $2,000, second place $1,500, and third place $500. And the third grade class that logs the most minutes will receive $1,000. Good luck to everyone. Mark your calendar for the annual Norfolk Admirals Night Out on Friday, January 25th at 7:30 p.m. at the Norfolk Scope. Parents and employees can purchase tickets for only $5. Contact your school or purchase tickets at the Scope box office. Another exciting week in sports. Stay tuned for NPS Sports featuring Steve Sutmiller.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. A battle for the top spot in the Eastern District took place as Lake Taylor and Maury squared off in girls basketball. Both were 7-0, and Lake Taylor came in with a 74-game district winning streak. Let's look at some highlights. Leading by 9 at halftime, Lake Taylor started the second half rolling along as Fiona Fitzgerald got 2 and the foul. Here, a steal by Jordan Mitchell-Harmel that led to another deuce by Fitzgerald, who led all scorers with 30 points. Here, Corinne Lyons scoops up the missed shot for the basket. Lake Taylor was up 14, but the Lady Commodores were determined. Chanel Hicks goes the length of the court for the basket. Jada Lucky gets the steal for the hoop and harm, and the comeback is on. Gigi Smith got Maury closer with a strong drive to the hoop. Lake Taylor answered with great interior passing for a bucket by India McKinney. Smith added again, this time for 3, as Maury cut the 14-point deficit to 2. Lake Taylor up 2 with 4 seconds left. Maury has a chance, but Hicks' shot comes after the buzzer. Lake Taylor makes it 75 in a row with a thriller, 61-59. Another close one unfolded as Norview traveled to Booker T, Washington. Marquise Coleman drives the lane for the bucket. On the other end, Jalen Frazier answers with a layup on his own. Here the Pilots space the floor and Damian Madison knocks down the triple. The Bookers on the break as Cameron Taylor knocks down the contested left-handed layup. Taylor again is in the mix as this time he gives up the rock to Zane Upshur for two. In a seesaw nip and tuck battle, Booker T ends up with a 1-point win. Upshur had 26 points to lead the Bookers, while Michael Gadsden led Norview with 20 points. The Eastern District Scholastic Bowl competition held its tournament at IC Norcom High School. Granby High School won the regular season title with a 12-1 record. The Maury Commodores finished second in the regular season, but were able to defeat the Comets in the tournament finals by the score of 215-165. Both teams will advance to the Eastern Region Tournament. This event will be held at Princess Anne High School on February 4th. The One Act Play Festival held its competition at Booker T, Washington High School. Booker T won the event with a score of 94 points. Second place went to Granby High School with a score of 93. Both groups will participate in the Eastern Region One Act Play Festival on February 15th at Salem High School. For all results and highlights, check out your Big Team's website. More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. Today we have Dr. Natalie Halloran, Program Director of School Improvement. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thank you.
I'm very excited about the new programs that the school district is implementing. There's one we talked about last week, Achieve 3000, and now there's Industar.
Yes.
Tell me, what is Industar?
Well, Industar is a web-based management tool housed on the Virginia Department of Education's website, and it's utilized by all the schools in our division as a way of managing their accountability plan. And as you can see, it begins with schools forming their teams, and teams must consist of everyone from administrators to teachers, as well as resource staff that supports in the school. It also houses schools' demographic information, as well as ongoing common formative assessment data that help guide the school's plan. And if you take a look over to your left, you'll see Assess. And that is where schools select their indicators that they assess that will become part of their plan to see where they are. Next, they look at various data sets to create their plan. And as part of creating their plan, they have what's called indicators or objectives. And then they have to create tasks, what are known as action steps, which will describe the steps and actions they will take, again, using various data sorts as part of their plan. And then the last part of that piece is monitoring. It's very important that schools are monitoring their student progress and their data on an ongoing basis.
So tell me, who is involved at the division and school level with Industar's implementation?
Well, as far as implementing Industar, we have a division team, and that division team consists of members from both departments of operations as well as teaching and learning. That's a division level team. We have leadership teams within the schoolhouse, which consists of the principal and their key lead team members. We have instructional teams, which consist of content or grade level team clusters. And then time is a very important factor because time must be set aside. They meet at minimum 2 to 3 times a month to review their indicators, to review their task, and to ensure that the strategies that are put into place to provide support are working.
So really, what's the purpose of an improvement plan?
The purpose of the improvement plan is to ensure that the proper strategies are in place to provide support where needed.
So how is this being implemented throughout district-wide?
Well, district-wide, again, each school have an improvement plan. We have members of the division team who go out at minimum once a month and serve as a member of the school team. They're looking again at various data sets, they're reviewing their indicators, looking at the different tasks, looking at documentation to ensure that the schools are on track and using data to provide continuous improvement.
So how is Norfolk Public Schools supporting this implementation process?
Well, again, we have division team members assigned to the school. In addition to that, we meet individually as a team to look at various data to see how schools are faring. And based on the data, we determine if there's some additional professional development needed at the school level, if there's team training that's needed, and just to determine what support.
So who are the key players from the division level?
Well, again, we have representation from all departments, everyone from curriculum to school improvement, the executive directors, special ed, federal programs. We all play a big integral part in it because at times we may need to, let's just say, realign even resources to support the schools.
Good, good. So what's the impact or the role of the Virginia Department of Education with supporting IndyStar in our school system?
Okay, again, we have schools that if they are either a priority school or a focus school, accredited with Miss AMOs, or warned or provisionally accredited, they're required to utilize IndyStar as part of the improvement planning process. And what that means is that schools have certain key indicators that must be included, the TAOs 1 through 3 in their plan, as well as participate in webinars that are hosted and sponsored by the Virginia Department of Education. So they provide lots of support in that process.
Good. So with IndyStar, what is the expected outcome for our district after having all this training and coming together, working on a plan? What's the expected outcome?
Well, the expected outcome would be an increased parental and community awareness of the improvement process and the great things that are going on in the school, as well as building the capacity of staff members in the school and increased student achievement.
Wow, this sounds exciting. And this is the first year we've ever had anything like this in place.
Right, well, we've had IndyStar that was only required for schools and improvement, but in our district, we're utilizing it as the accountability system and planning process division-wide.
Okay, so what other school systems are using IndyStar?
I believe there's only one other one in the entire state of Virginia that's utilizing it as a district-wide initiative.
Okay, so is it done nationwide or?
Yes, it is. It's done nationwide, but in the state of Virginia, again, we're like I want to say one of 2 divisions that are using it.
Right. So when did IndyStar begin this whole process of trying to put a plan together?
Well, IndyStar began probably about 4 years ago, and it gradually was utilized only for schools that were identified, again, as being an improvement by the State Department. And then it gradually just spread out with the State Department identifying best practices that are in place that they noticed across the state and across the U.S. that were being implemented in schools, and they've just passed that information along.
So we've learned about the success of IndyStar, and so now we decided to incorporate it in our school division. And so now we're going to continue to watch the results year after year to see how our district is going and our schools are going.
Yes, and again, it's the first year that we're utilizing it division-wide. So schools are all, whether you're identified by the state as being an improvement or a school that's fully accredited and met all of your annual measurable objectives. We all know that it's an ongoing process as far as the continuous improvement and utilizing various data sets to inform instruction.
And this ties into our cycle for results for the school system.
Yes, definitely, it does. And the indicators that all schools are utilizing, TAO1, which addresses having an improvement identification process in place for identifying students in need of tiered support. We have what's called TAO2, which addresses... What does that
stand for, TAO2?
It's just codes by the state, indicators. There are 3 primary indicators identified by the state. And they TAO2, which identifies the type of tiered support that's provided to Tier 2 and 3 students. And then TAO3, which addresses the monitoring. So it's an ongoing cycle of using various data sets to drive instruction improvement. And actually, the indicators are also tied into the school board priorities and goals. There is indicators or tasks that are going to be required by schools that tie into the community involvement aspect, the student achievement aspect, and it's going to be monitored throughout the year through the division.
So throughout the year and at the end of the year, we'll look at how this whole program that we've implemented is working.
Yes, and actually we don't wait until the end of the school year. On an ongoing basis, the division team members meet to review the accountability plans of the school, as well as go out into the school and serve as a member of the school teams. So it's an ongoing process you could say weekly, that we're monitoring, and as quarterly data is provided, we're revisiting plans to see what shifts are needed to provide
so this
support.
helps up with the school student improvement. So we're constantly monitoring ourselves and tweaking and changing whatever plans we have in place to make sure student success.
On an ongoing basis, yes.
This is good. Good information. We've got a lot of great programs coming out, and hopefully we'll continue to use this format to share with parents in the community what Norfolk Public Schools is doing for student achievement and academic success. Thank you, Dr. Halloran, for joining us today. And we'd like to thank you for joining us for another edition of NPS Now. It airs every week on Channel 47 and on the web at www.npsk12.com. Thank you again for joining us for NPS Now.